بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب يسر ولا تعسر وتم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح رب اشرح صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. A few days ago we talked about one of the most opportune times to do ibadah. What was the time that we talked about? Early morning, right? Early morning. Now, what we're going to be talking about today, I don't want you to think I'm contradicting what we talked about a few days ago. Okay. So there is a ayah and there are many hadith where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the ibadah that we do at night. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the verse, I'm not going to recite the verse, it's a sajda ayah, so I don't want to make you all do sajda tilawa. It's a sajda tilawa, but it's the ayah is from the people of the book. There is a upright community that recites the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during nighttime, and they do sujood to Him at nighttime. Okay, so meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks about a community and gives characteristics about that community, that they are that they I'm trying to remember that. Ana al-layl, yani they stand up and they pray all night. Okay, ana al-layl, they're standing up and they're praying all night. So this is a special quality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes these individuals as praying their salah, doing their ibadah at nighttime. And we have a hadith mentioned by both Imām Bukhari and Imam Muslim talking about Abdullah ibn Umar. Alright, Abdullah ibn Umar, he the Prophet ﷺ said about Abdullah ibn Umar that what an excellent man Abdullah ibn Umar would be if only he prayed at night. If only he prayed at night. That what an excellent man. I mean, this is Abdullah ibn Umar. He's Umar radiallahu anhu son. He was already, doing so much ibadah. But Prophet ﷺ said about him that what an excellent man he would be if he prayed at night. And if my memory recalls correctly, once he heard the Prophet ﷺ say that, he never stopped praying at night. He always prayed at night. Every time he would pray at night. Okay. Then, he gave him further advice. Prophet ﷺ said, Oh Abdullah. And he would do this with the young Sahaba. Okay. Because he knew how much energy and capacity that these young Sahaba had. So he said, Oh Abdullah, do not be like so-and-so individual who used to pray at night and now they don't pray at night anymore. They used to to stand for Qiyamul Layl. They used to stand for Tahajjud. They used to make dua at night, but now they neglected it. So don't be like that community either. Don't be like that group of people as well. Like they do it like one night or 2 nights, or do it for like every day. They do it for like one week or 2 weeks, and then they just leave it. No, if you have a consistent wird, if you have a consistent litany, if you have a consistent schedule, then I'm going to do it, all right, 3 times a week, or I'm going to do it every night, but just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's much better than you going out and saying, all right, I'm going to do for one whole night, in 1 month, and then the rest of the month I'm just going to be completely in ghafla, state of ghafla. That's not preferred. That's not preferred. Okay. So if we want to do an ibadah, make sure that we do it consistently. As we hear from the Prophet ﷺ, خَيْرُ الْأَعْمَالِ أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ, that the best of deeds are those deeds that an individual does consistently, even if it's a very small action, even if it's 5 minutes, but it's consistent. It's consistent. Okay, that's much more important. That's much more virtuous. That's much going to give you a much higher maqam than you spending one whole night and then complete state of ghafla, watching movies and doing this and that for the rest of the nights. Okay. And this, the Prophet ﷺ describes the people who stand up and pray at night. This is a sharaf. He says sharaful mu'min. This is the sharaf of the mu'min. That what is the believer's nobility is praying at night. Why? Why do you think that is? Why do you guys think that that's such a noble, virtuous action of a believer waking up at night and praying in the middle of the night? Why is that so virtuous? What do y'all think? What would the Prophet say? No, that's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking you guys. What do you guys think?
Between you and God.
Yeah, it's just nobody else sees, right? It's just honestly nobody. Sometimes, a lot of the times, nobody even in your own house knows that you're praying. It's completely dark, no lights are on, nobody sees, no like Facebook status, I'm praying at night. No, none of that stuff, right? If you're doing that, there's something wrong with that one. Don't do that. We don't need any of that. Okay, it's because of this. Imam Nawawi mentions that praying and recitation of the Quran at night are very superior, because at this time your heart is completely collected and you're removed from any preoccupations. You're not working at night unless you have a night shift. You're not working at night. Okay, you're not entertaining yourself at night. Okay, you're not attending to the needs of people, usually not at night. The kids are usually sleeping at that time. You have responsibilities, they're usually taken care of by that time. It's time of sleeping. Okay, so you have full, inshallah, no multitasking going on at that time. And if we think about some of the ibadah that has taken place at night, what is one of the greatest ibadah in history that took place at night? Okay, Laylatul Qadr, good. That's one, good. What else? We're on that juz right now in when we're leading Tarawih. I don't know where you guys are in Tarawih. Surah Al-Isra. Surah Al-Isra. What's the first ayah? Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi. What's the word? Laylam min al-masjid al-harami ila al-masjid al-aqsa. That bless, praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one who took his slave at this night journey. Asra bi'abdihi laylam min al-masjid al-haram. At that night time. So it has a special time in the hearts of believers as well. This nighttime. It's not just for sleeping. Yes, it's for sleeping as well. Don't get me wrong. You should be sleeping. You should be sleeping at nighttime. There's a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dims the whole lights of the world. It's for you to go to sleep, yes. It's not for you to come and say, let me turn on my LEDs inside at home, make it all bright so I can stay up another hour, 2 hours, I can, do some work here, do some work there. If you're staying for ibadah, okay. But even then, you can go to sleep right after Isha and then, inshallah, wake up for tahajjud. Okay, when you're more fresh at that time. You can do that as well. That would be also coming under وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ, right? From the night time is that you wake up and you pray tahajjud. That would be included there. Right? There were certain Sahaba who they knew it was difficult for them to pray tahajjud. So, because the Prophet ﷺ told the Sahaba, okay, the last prayer that you should be praying is what prayer? Salatul Isha, but more specifically, Salatul Witr. Right? Salatul Witr, that should be your last prayer. So if you're going to be doing nawafil, then hold off on praying Witr right after Isha and pray it all the way after tahajjud. So some of the Sahaba, they came up to the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, it's very difficult for me to wake up for tahajjud, but I really want to do this act of praying witr at the end. Okay, so what should we do? So the Prophet ﷺ told them, you pray whatever you need to pray right after Isha Salah, whether it's your sunan, whether it's your nawafil, and then pray witr before going to sleep. If you happen to get up at night, then go ahead, you pray your nawafil at that time. And if not, at least you fulfill the obligation of witr. Because witr obviously is much higher standard, much higher rank than any of your nawafil, right? Witr is much higher. In the Hanafi madhab, it's wajib, right? It's wajib. So that's what he told those Sahaba. But if those Sahaba are able to get up during tahajjud, then they should delay the witr until later on at night, pray the tahajjud, pray their nawafil, and then pray witr afterwards. Okay. Why we see so many hadith after hadith, where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned hadith Qudsi that every night, or not hadith Qudsi, that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the hadith that every night your Lord descends to the lowest heaven when half of the night has passed by. And he asks the question, is there anybody making dua? Is there anybody doing salah? Is there anybody making any type of supplication so that I can answer that supplication? Because majority of the people are sleeping at this time, right? Majority of the people are sleeping. So there's going to be a select few from amongst the community that is going to be up and be making dua. Because there is time, there is an hour every single night which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts every dua. Which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts every dua. Okay, and that could possibly be that time where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends from the lowest heavens to the lowest heavens. Okay. So we need to make sure we understand the importance of doing ibadah at night, recitation of the Quran at night. Okay, the more the better, obviously. The more the better. But at the same time, we keep in mind that inna li jasadika alayka haqqa, that your body has a right upon you. Right? Your body has a right upon you. So just like how your ruh has a right upon you that you need to do ibadah. Okay, for your iman to increase. Same thing with your body. Your body needs sleep. Your body needs the proper nutrients. It doesn't need that. No, don't get me started on rovza. It doesn't need the rovzas, right? It doesn't need those, those unhealthy drinks and those unhealthy foods that we sometimes eat at iftar and at suhoor. MashaAllah, we're doing such a, I don't want to get to digress too much, but we're doing such a beautiful ibadah from Fajr until Maghrib, and sometimes we ruin it, but with the iftar that we eat. Okay, don't ruin it with the iftar that you eat, mashallah. I mean, your body is going through, your ruh is going through such a transformation, and then you're drinking stuff that is just completely cancerous and dangerous to our health. Yeah, I was talking to a doctor just today, and I was telling her, I was like, the only time I tell people to have rovza in their house is if they're using it for a science project. Right? If the kids are using it for like a science project, then you could keep it. Okay, fine, you could use it for that. Besides that, it should never be something that you're consuming, right? Never. Okay. And if you want more details, we can talk about that after, inshallah. So, and with this last hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he stated that whoever stands at night for just 10 verses, then he will not be written amongst those that were heedless. Whoever stands and prays qiyam and they recite 100 verses, they will be from amongst the obedient. Whoever stands and they recite 1,000 verses, then only Allah knows that they will be counted from amongst those individuals who have intense riches. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to count us from amongst those individuals that will have intense riches. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.